I'm the manifest boss, babe.
What if I told you that everything you desire is already waiting for you? You just have to claim it. Welcome to the Manifest Boss Babe podcast, where we turn mindset shifts into massive success. I'm Amanda, a high performance mindset coach, manifestation queen, and entrepreneur, and I am obsessed with helping you create the life you've been dreaming of. In this podcast, we talk about mindset, manifestation, business, and how to become your 2.0 version. Hey, what's up, my people? Welcome back to another episode of Manifest Boss Babe, the spot where you ditch the hustle myths and get real about building a life that lights you the fuck up. I'm Amanda, and today, oh man, we're diving into something that's flipped my world inside out. And I bet it'll do the exact same thing for you. So picture this. You're grinding away at the gym, chasing that six pack, or you're pounding the pavement for that promotion thinking, if I just have the body, the job, the bank account, then I'll do the confident thing and then I'll become that badass version of me. Sounds familiar, right? Yeah, me too. For years, I bought into the have, do, be trap. Spoiler alert, it's a dead end. But what if I told you that the real magic actually happens in the reverse? Enter the be, do, have framework. It's simple, profound, and it's backed by science that says your identity, who you be, is the starting line for everything else. Today, we're going to unpack it all. Why we've had it backwards this whole time, and that stats actually prove it. And a deep dive into the be, do, have, so you can start living it today. Stick around because we're about to level up, so let's jump in. All right, let's call it what it is. We've all been sold this lie, the have, do, be model. It's everywhere. Ads screaming, buy this car and you'll feel like a boss. Diets promising, lose the weight and suddenly you'll be unstoppable. Careers whispering, land the title and then you'll act like the leader you are. It's seductive because it feels easy. Chase the stuff and the rest follows. But here's the gut punch. It doesn't work. Long term, it leaves you chasing your tail. And you're probably wondering why. It's because when you start with the have, you're building on sand. You get the thing, the raise, the relationship, the ripped abs, and without that inner shift, it all slips away. You revert back to your old self. The highs fade. You're back to square one. You're wondering why fulfillment feels so damn unattainable. And the data, it's brutal. Check this out. Research shows that growth mindset, who you believe you can actually be, predicts success way better than just grinding harder. In fact, 88% of executives say fostering a growth mindset in teams directly drives profit and innovation. So let's flip that. Stuck in that fixed, have first mentality, they're 20 to 30% less likely to hit a goal because action fizzles without belief fueling them. Or take on entrepreneurship. A study of over 1,000 founders found that those with a strong identity as an inventor, like the be first, were 2.5 times more likely to scale their business than those who just did the tactics without owning the mindset. And get this, growth mindset training alone boosts entrepreneurship action by 40% in one experiment, proving that shifting who you are sparks the doing, not the other way around. I lived this. Early on, I had the fancy job title, but I was faking the confidence. The do, it was half-assed. And be, still that scared kid inside. The unworthy kid that I didn't deserve any of this. which led to Burnout City until I flipped it. More on that in a second. But if you're nodding along, you're not alone. 80% of high achievers report regret over chasing the haves without the inner work. It's time to rewrite these rules. Okay, core of the framework, the B. This isn't fluffy woo woo, it's your identity, the lens you see the world through, who you declare yourself to be right now. Not when the stars are aligned, but today, because science backs it up. Your self concept has one of the highest effect sizes on achievement, meaning it outperforms 90% of other factors like extra study time or tech gadgets. Why? Because belief shapes reality. Think of it like this: if you be the curious explorer, life's puzzle becomes an adventure, not threats. If you be the resilient creator, setbacks become fuel. Step one, audit your I am statements. Mine used to be, I'm just winging it. Now, I'm the guide who lights paths for others. Do you feel that shift? Let's start with visualization, but I want you to completely embody this. Feel it. So close your eyes. Feel the version of who's already nailed it. Like you're living in the house, you're living your dream life. You've got the relationships, the jobs, like all the things that you have that you wanted. You've already nailed it. What does your posture look like? What is your energy? What are those thoughts that you're thinking? How do you feel on the inside? I want you to journal it. I am whatever, 10 times daily. Because when you start writing that down, it's a pen to paper action. It's taking your thoughts, writing it down on paper makes it believable. And then you read it over and you're telling yourself these things and you're feeling what it feels like. Research from Stanford shows that this rewires neural pathways and it's boosting motivation by 25% in just weeks. And I want you to anchor it with one micro habit: mirror work. Stare yourself down each morning and own it. And look at yourself in the eyes saying, I am abundant. I am capable. And over time, this identity becomes unbreakable. Be first and watch the world bend. You know that phrase, you have to fake it before you make it? It's kind of similar. You have to just keep putting in the reps, believing that you're that person already. Because when you feel what that person's going to feel like, you start thinking differently, you start acting differently, and your mind will actually open up to different opportunities, to different possibilities, because you're thinking on a bigger growth mindset version of yourself. Now that we've claimed your B, let's enter the do. This is where the rubber hits the road, but not in that frantic hustle, aligned action. Because when your doing flows from who you be, it's effortless. Have you ever noticed how fit people just move without forcing it? That's B fueling the do. Do isn't about busyness. It's intentional moves that matches your identity. So let's break it down. Clarity check. Ask, does this action serve as the me that I'm becoming? If you're being the healthy warrior, skip that scroll fest and go for a walk instead. Micro wins. Science says starting small builds momentum. A study in the Journal of Personality found that tiny identity aligned habits increased follow through by 300%. Why? Dopamine hits compound. So when you start taking small, attainable, aligned action, things will become a habit, which becomes a part of you. So in order to have those things, you need to start taking small baby steps. to build up the consistency and the discipline and the resilience to become that person that has the things. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you want to be a healthier person, you have to start acting like that person. You have to feel like that person. So they start hitting the pavement by taking those extra steps, by doing the aligned action. And they start telling themselves positive affirmations, declaring that's who they are. And before you know it, it's going to be a part of their lifestyle and they're going to have all those things. And that brings me to accountability loops. Share with a crew of like minded people. And I'm saying like minded because you don't want to tell those people that are fixed mindset because they could drag you down. And you don't want that. You want people that are going to empower you and encourage you and want you to become a better version of yourselves. Because what does that do? That actually inspires them to push themselves harder, to become a better version of themselves. Do you see how that works? You work together to become better versions of yourselves together. And so for me, I am big into community. I create communities so then people can come into my space with someone being a leader and showing the way by doing the things, but also getting inspired by all of these other people in the community to help me get better. And by doing this, it's kept me consistent for years and it's held me accountable for being the person that I want to become, being that leader. And helping these people grow and expand only amplifies my growth. But here's a pitfall alert: don't do from fear. That's the have, do, be sneaking back in. Do from expansion. Because when fear sinks in, you go back into that scarcity mindset and that limiting beliefs will start creeping back in. You have to think abundantly, like anything is possible because it literally is. This universe, this world that has been provided for us is abundant, and you can literally create anything you put your mind to. So that's why you have to think big. Like, here's an example for you. As a bold communicator that I want to be in front of people and I want to change lives. I now pitch podcasts like this one without a sweat because I put in the work and I am putting in the reps to become that person to have the impact on the world that I want to have. But I got to take the steps first. I'm going to start acting like that person, doing the small repetitive steps like this podcast and getting out online and putting out the content to create the impact that I want to have on the world. See how that works? So here's a challenge for you. Pick one do that's tied to your be. And if you need help discovering who that be is, and you need help creating that do, like those aligned actions that you need to take, reach out to me. Because that's what I do is with my clients is I help them figure out who they actually want to become. And then I help them by creating the list of the do action steps that they need to take in order to have the life that they want. And I hold your ass accountable. That's the beauty of me is I will hold you accountable to it. And I actually help you expand bigger than your B because quite often when you say your B, you're playing small. You're not even thinking outside of the box. You have no idea your purpose, your potential. And I am there to hold space for you and allow you to expand. And it's incredible once I tap in there to show you what is possible. Now, finally, the have. This is the beautiful byproduct. It's not the goal, it's the evidence. When B sparks the do, the have just shows up unforced. That promotion, it lands because you're already acting as the leader. That thriving relationship, because you be the partner who shows up fully. Here's the depth. Have isn't a statistic, it's dynamic proof. Studies on identity achievement show folks who lock in their beat early hit 40% higher life satisfaction scores, with the haves just flowing in naturally. There's no grasping. Let me just give you a great example. You want the have. Okay, let's just say you have this dream car that you want. You know you want this dream car, but you have no idea how you're going to get it because it just seems so unattainable. So then you're like, well, I can't have it. Or you grind it out and grind, and it's just so much work and you have no idea how you can even make that happen. It's because you're not embodying being that person that has that vehicle. A vehicle's a really bad example, but everybody seems to want the fancy cars or whatever. So I'm just using that as an example, or a fancy house. But as you become the person that has those things already, you start acting a different way. You start thinking a different way. And to be honest, once you get to that you can have all those things, you don't even really want it because you already have it. Like, it's really hard to explain the process of it. But as you're going through this journey, you realize you have everything inside of you and you just want to live authentically. And then you get all these things, this peace, the freedom, the joy. And that's essentially what you want in the long run. But you don't actually know that because you just think you want the fancy things. But it's actually the freedom and the peace that you're desiring. But you think those other things are what's going to bring it. You don't discover that until you become the person who starts working towards getting those things. And doing the aligned actions is what actually brings you the peace, the joy, the freedom. And then you're going to have everything that you want. This is from my own personal experience. You know, I got married and had the kids. We had the house, like the perfect little scenario, right? And you want to go on all these fun family adventures and you want to have the boat, you want to have the camper, you want to have all those toys like the snowmobiles and the quads and all the things, right? You want to like have all the water sports and you want to do all the things. You want to have it all, right? So you're grinding it out, working, getting the money, trading your time for money so that you can buy those things. So then you can start doing those things and have that life that you desire, right? Okay. So you're working, grinding it out to get the money to buy the things. So then you can start doing that fun and you're having all that fun and that experiences. But yet, here's the catch, you don't have time because you're too busy working to pay for those things that you can't even enjoy. So you never do get to have, you don't get to have those experiences. See how this is the catch 22? But when you learn to live with gratitude and living with peace already inside of you and being okay with what you have, but desiring more, which means you start appreciating the things you already have. So let's say you want to have more family experiences. What are you going to do? Is you're going to take every moment that you have in the present and you're going to start spending time with your family members. You're going to start doing those things that you love to do, getting out in nature, going for those walks, just making a quick day trip. If you can't go camping, you just make a quick day trip to the lake and have that experience because that's all the time you're allotted for. Guess what? You're going to have that feeling. You're going to have that experience. And then the more you get it, the more you're going to embody it and start doing those things to get you there sooner. So before you know it, you don't even want those material things anymore because you found that just living presently with the people you love and with yourself, you create that joy within yourself. And then before you know it, things just start flowing. Work doesn't seem as hard because you're not grinding it out, trying to make the money to get all those things that you want and desire. Before you know it, all these other opportunities start coming in and money comes in flow because money is frequency, money is energy, and it comes into you so easily. And you get to have all these experiences that you never even knew was possible. Or, like what I get, people give me tickets to different events that I want to go to. I didn't even have to do anything for it. It just gets given to me. So I didn't even have to work for it. That's what I'm saying is when you become this person that already has all these things, you live authentically and you attract, you magnetize these things into your life and opportunities just start showing up. So I want you to give it a try. And if this is like diving too deep for you and we just need to start scratching at the surface and figure out who you are right now and who you want to become, let's hop on a quick call so I can help you unravel this for you, because we need to get you living the life of freedom and peace, because it is unbelievable. So there it is. Let's ditch the have, do, be hamster wheel, because it's proven 20 to 40% is a success killer. Start embracing the be, do, have. Become the you. Do the aligned, have the abundance. And it's not overnight, but it's real. So your homework this week: declare one be shift, journal it out, and act on the do. And then you're going to notice the have. Hit me up on social media, Manifest Boss Babe, and share your wins, because I read everything. And if you're not on my email list, make sure you hit up on my list, because I send out emails that have tiny little tidbits of juicy information for you. Thanks again for listening to this podcast. If this sparked something inside of you, please hit that subscribe button. Leave me a review, because that helps spread the fire, and send it to a friend that you're like, let's do this together. So until next time, be bold, do epic things, and have it all.